Hey everybody, welcome to G4G on YouTube. Today we're taking a look at the new Marvel Avengers gameplay. And I gotta say, look, that right there, whenever I see that, I just can't help but think of Clancy. Look at this picture of Clancy Brown. And then look at that. And look at that. Look at your man. Now look back at me. Now look back at your man. Now look back at me. I know it's not the voice of Thor in this. However, man, it looks like him. And I gotta say, somebody down in the comments over here was like, why does Thor look like Hank of Detroit Become Human? Because that's Clancy Brown, and that's that. Yeah. Okay. So just want to, bring that up. While we're here on Thor, before we continue, I'm going to, for the rest of the video, so there's been a meme going around concerning this game where everybody has different names that somewhat resemble their real names, like Steve Rogers, Captain America is Speeve, and Thor is like, I forget what Thor's name was, so I'm going to call him Dinner Plates, or Hubcap. I can't figure it out, but I'm pretty sure that why couldn't they go with the half circle bumps? These flat plates look absolutely ridiculous, okay? They look like let's see if I can find a 1974 Ford Comet. Or a Mercury Maverick. Oh, okay. Well, okay, here we go. That, there it is. Well, they're calling it a Mercury Comet. I didn't think it was a Mercury Comet. I thought it was a Ford Comet and a Mercury Maverick, but I guess, okay, Mercury Comet. So there you go. And even a little bit that one, too. So we're going to call him Hubcaps for the rest of this video. So Hubcaps and Tont Stank are hanging out in the air right now.
Thor, see if you can clear a path on the bridge.
Okay, so there goes Hubcaps. And the enemies all look like Crossbones. Quick time event. Even sounds a little bit like Clancy Brown. So,
what's your status?
admittedly, this gameplay doesn't look super bad. It has a God of War resemblance to it. I mean, seems fun. And it seems that if I was playing Hubcaps over here, it's doing a decent job of fulfilling the, as some people like to say when their games, the power fantasy of playing Thor. Throws Mjolnir Mew Mew. Call it Mew Mew. And it's got him pinned. It's got the bad guy pinned to the bottom of the truck over there, and then calls back. Okay, I mean, I'm a little concerned about the abilities down to the lower right. It makes it look limited. That there's only 2 over there. Maybe there's some kind of power abilities. Another quick time event. More Crossbones. There's Hubcaps. I mean, they're Hubcaps. I almost used to think of them as dinner plates, but there is no ridge for keeping the food on them, so they are Hubcaps. A little bit of a threat indicator there. Some flight, and here comes Tont Stank. And he looks like he used the power ability over there, which now has a cooldown. So, okay, God of War kind of feel for it. And maybe some other kind of threat indicator or quick time press. he got blasted.
My turn.
And now he's got some kind of ability charged up in the lower right. Looks kind of like an ultimate, which is kind of cool.
It's not over, Stark. Hey, get back here.
Stank. Get on it, Stank.
Got confirmation. A
So
shield
now
convoy was hijacked
we
this
seem to be flying
From what
as
you're
Tony
reporting,
Stank.
reads I never read. Come on,
And
Tony. Those are
I don't know how on the
Okay,
rails
whatever.
this is over here. Might be in control of the shooting and be kind of cool if you were able to control him the way you would like a flight sim.
Built the damn things.
Or maybe made like staying too close to the ground a little bit risky because some of the ground fire would be down there.
If that thing gets hit,
Already on it.
There seems to be do a barrel roll. And we're getting some experience, so maybe it isn't
Stay by
really
cover.
on the rails
All right,
over there.
Which one of you B-movie extras shot at me?
We've seen some similar moves from Iron Man in the movies.
Hell, how's the cat? Tell Fury I really love being
Pretty
shot at
decent
with my own
unibeam,
weapon.
and something is recharging in the lower right. But unlike Thor, there only seems to be one ability over there.
You'd think these idiots would be running away
I'm
by
kind of curious if he can land now if he wanted to, or if it's on rails that he's up in
Something
the
else
air.
going on here.
Repulsion blast. Repulsion blast. Am I the only one who actually hears Marvel vs. Capcom? I hate that face. Like, that face is like Tony Stank is dead inside. Like, this is Iron Man on an alcoholic depression bender.
They've got pulsar tanks.
Unibeam. Am I the only one who hears, like, old Avengers vs. Capcom game
Someone's initiated
ability
security
sounds in their head when they see stuff like this? I've always done that, especially like Iceman, like Ice Beam, Ice
Those
Beam.
weapons can't get into the city.
Copy that.
So this Black Widow is actually kind of growing on me a little bit. So that's the voice of Laura Bailey. I'm not going to say that looks like Laura Bailey, but that is Laura Bailey's voice, which is a very known actress. Her turn is Lust in Full Metal Alchemist was one of my favorite usages of her voiceover talents, especially when Mustang is just absolutely flaming the shit out of her and eventually winds up killing her. Spoilers. Sorry. That whole sequence I absolutely love, but this Black Widow sort of isn't too bad. Because, I mean, mostly what defines Black Widow is a blackishy gray suit and generally the red hair. The face is... Yeah, I mean, it's okay. They weren't going to get Scarlet for this. They weren't getting anybody for this that was related to the movies. But this is somewhat of a representation you can believe when it comes to Black Widow from, like, the comics. This Bruce, though, I mean... No, this banner is not really doing it for me at all. However, this Hulk is a lot like what you would expect. Sort of, his back is muscle structured similar to how Abomination was in the movie before he had grown to full size, sort of like when he was medium Abomination. But yeah, I mean, this is Hulk. It's kind of hard to fuck up Hulk. This is, I think, one of the better representations of this game, so I won't even give him a funny name. I won't call him Bulk. I mean, it's Hulk, by my estimation. So, this is an interesting part of the sequence coming up over here. It's another one that if you had reasonable control over him right here and this wasn't on the rails, I think this one, again, could kind of do the power fantasy of playing Hulk. Slightly I mean, when you first see this, you're like, wow, this is a little bit athletic for the Hulk. No, you have to remember he's always had a history of these really far jumps. And somewhat reasonable speed. And I think it's actually pretty visceral when he's like grabbed two people and bashed them together. It kind of makes me think of Juggernaut. When he's like, oh, I'm gonna hit you with your own pimp. By the way, that's from the I'm the Juggernaut bitch. If you've ever seen that reworked or revoiced X-Men cartoon, go out and watch it. Because besides I'm the Juggernaut bitch, there's a tremendous amount of funny moments in that cartoon, especially commence the laser dodging. Pew pew! So here, the big sonic clap. Marvel Avengers Alliance fans are used to that. He definitely had that in the game. At least some variants of the Hulk did. That was an interesting Matrix dodge. Quick time event. Grabs the tank. I love that, just in a side kick. Like, get the fuck out of here. And he might have even gone off the bridge on that one. Okay, now I'm not as fond of that Black Widow nearly as much. Here's Hubcabs and Tont Stank. And an ambulance going by outside. This, okay, I fucking hate this Captain America. This, you can... You can do Captain America from the Marvel Comics and have him look reasonable without having him look like his MCU representation. And honestly, if his MCU representation strictly was very, very spot on point to the comics, well then that's what life is. And continue it. This, I'm going to call this guy Dadbod. He's Dadbod in a tactical suit. I hate this look to Captain America. I truly do. I feel like maybe the shield is a little small when it's on him. I'd have to do research just to double check, but I feel like when the shield is on his arm, it doesn't have the most amount of coverage for him that I'm used to, and I don't get the glow either. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to have a glow so that you can see where it is in some fog, like where they had the... No, because there's no tear gas left and it's still lit up. He's got two abilities in the lower right. Seemingly, one of them activated a bit ago, but I don't know when it was. Here comes the Crossbones soldiers.
Captain, we have a problem. The reactor won't stabilize. Origin molecular structure is breaking down.
That's pretty good. I mean, I will admit, like, if the MCU movies were, let's say, PG, this one looks like it's pushing more of a PG-13 to almost an R, not because of any, like, swearing or anything, but combat seems a little more punchy than the movies, especially considering these are just other human beings. Dadbod tactical suit. Miss Marvel. There you go, there's Miss Marvel, kids. Oh, that looked awful. Oh, that looked so bad.
Thought the UN outlawed those years ago.
Let's have a look, shall
There's
we?
dinner plates. I'm sorry, hubcaps. Hubcaps, Tont Stank, Hulk, and Blork Widow.
Well, that is an entrance.
That's gonna be her name for the rest of this, will be Blork Widow. Is this gonna be Taskmaster? Oh god, that look... God, is this like a Point Break mask or something?
We need to get that detonator.
Blork Widow.
That bomb goes off, it could liquefy everything within a 10-mile radius.
Hulk is like the only guy that It's like when Deadpool's like, it's almost like you guys didn't have the budget for any other X-Men. We have Hulk, and then nobody else. Hulk and the Abdongers.
Tony, Thor, the cables. I'll handle the freak detonator.
Oh, Blork Widow.
Romanov! From one former SEAL agent to another. Keep up.
I mean, that's at least the body shape that Black Widow is often represented with the reasonably attractive butt and the flared hips and everything. The hourglass figure. That's this is, I guess, the fan service sequence over here. Taskmaster and Blork Widow's butt. This is, again, probably very on the rails, which would be a shame. It would... Oh, that's nice, though. Try to get his face on the pavement. Don't fall off, Blork Widow.
You know, I was hoping to face you.
And now he has a lightsaber. Alright, so we're not seeing any abilities for Blork Widow, just seemingly crosshairs with ammo count. He's holding a rogue considering it's Taskmaster, who of course memorizes the patterns of his foes. Is she gonna use shocky sticks? They seem to be highlighting shocky sticks. Let's see if she reaches behind her and grabs shocky sticks. No. No? Oh, okay. No, she's got the tonfa out. Bet you didn't think I would think that, I know the name that they're tonfa and not nightsticks like a lot of people say. I watch my Kung Fu movies. I play my Kung Fu games. Surprisingly not used... Well, maybe she used a wrist thing over there with the grapple hook. Oh, that mask! That mask, though! Fuck, it's like... the revenge of fucking Camp Crystal Lake over here. This doesn't seem to be on rails. This does not seem very scripted. It looks like you're in control quite a bit of Black Widow over here. Ooh, combo breaker. Yeah, see, she tried to pull the gun out and then aborted, so it seems like there is control.
Your dance ends now.
But I'm not seeing a health on Black Widow. Unless it's that bar up there, but she did take a few shots and there didn't seem to be any indication of health loss.
I'm after something much more valuable.
Hurricane Rana. God, that mask, man. It's like it was a game that... It's like it's a company who wanted to make a Marvel game but couldn't get the Marvel license, but is doing somewhat what they could with what they were allowed to. It's just...
I'm done talking.
Huh. Oh.
What's the matter?
Okay, that's interesting. Stealth suit.
I'll adapt.
Interesting. I guess she's Drax now. How far? We've got about 2 minutes of the video left over here. Haven't seen anything from the wrist except for that one time she grappled. Maybe that came from the wrist
Guess you saw that coming, huh?
You think you've
cuffs
won?
that she has.
What the hell are you talking about?
Look
Oh
around,
please,
Romanov.
this mask. Get it
The
off my
world will
screen.
remember this day. Tay there.
Actually, it's Mad Max-esque. It looks like it could very easily have been a mask on somebody who was riding a motorcycle in one of the Mad Max movies. Hey, it's Hubcabs. Hey kids, look, it's Hubcabs.
The city's collapsing.
I have a feeling
Latest.
this is where they lose
Steve,
Cap.
can you hear me?
Steve.
Get the hell out of there.
Tactical Dadbod. Hey, look, guys, come look on.
Screw this.
Hubcaps and Tont Stank, get up there and get... Oops. Well, so much for Tactical Dadbod. Is there going to be any eye emotions from Blork Widow? Blork Widow has a very Ronda Rousey-esque range of emotions on that face over there. It's just,
Call them murderers.
hey, look, different shades of somewhat angry.
That was the question, Bruce.
There's hippie Tont Stank.
Well,
Tactical
we all lost
Dadbod.
something that day. But that's not how the
Beeve.
story ends.
Hubcaps. Tont Stank. Depressed Tont Stank. Star Jammer armor? Star Boost armor? Abomination. I can pre-order for the beta access. I would probably, when I knew the beta was coming, I would probably pre-order simply because it is an Avengers game and to get like access before you guys so I can show it to you so you can make an informed decision on it. But alright, so PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC, or some people saying Stadia. It's not a stadium. Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix. I don't know. I continue not to be excessively impressed by this. It's just, as some people have said, the visuals are just slightly off-putting enough to be unnerving. It's not like it's completely a game where they couldn't get the Marvel license, but you know who they're going for. And it's not like, so the other goalpost would be a straight-up MCU game with the actual actors or their likenesses and everything. But like, to me, it's... If they wanted to be something different than the MCU, that's really tough because I truly believe in a lot of respects the MCU movies did justice to the comic characters. The facial hair on Robert Downey Jr. very appropriately fits Tony Stark's facial hair that you've seen. I mean, Captain America is often suited, and with the mask, it's kind of easy to get by. Blork Widow. Hulk is another one that's kind of hard to screw up a little bit unless you do something extremely weird with the body, like give him a heavy top half and then he forgets leg day, which we've never seen, thank God. But like Hubcaps, man, Hubcaps is awful, and it remains to be seen how many others. I'm sure it's just going to be pretty much the core Avengers. And they've said no loot boxes, but there's going to be DLCs, so there's probably going to be additional uniforms, maybe like a direct purchase kind of a deal, similar to how the Borderlands series ran their stuff. Maybe themed DLCs, similar to Ultimate Marvel, Marvel Alliance 3 is, and everything. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I forget which order the Ultimate is. I think it's MUA 3. Yeah, MUA 3. It's gonna... I don't know. If it has online co-op, we're in danger of this game, because I don't know necessarily how long they're going to support it. If it's just couch co-op and mostly aimed at being a single player, you know, then you can play it to eternity. But, yeah, I still have my reservations. This footage is good for some of the characters, and it still confirms the initial memes of Speeve, Tont Stank. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments over here. And, you know, are you interested in getting the game? Are you interested in pre-ordering for the beta access? are you thinking we're making much ado about nothing by saying the visuals are off, or you know, do you really like what you see of the characters? Are you more or less understanding of their representation in this? I mean, I think there's high points and low points in it. I think Iron Man himself is relatively okay for the uniform, but I don't like the eye part of the uniform. It's very, very weird, and I'm not that big of a fan of Tont Stank. Bruce Banner I don't think is good. Hulk I think is good. Hubcaps I'm not a fan. Blork Widow, half and half on Blork Widow. And Speeve, Dadbod tactical suit, tactical dad suit. Not, I fucking hate that. I think that's the worst one for me out of all of this. I cannot look at that Captain America uniform, and even that shield just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem big enough, and I don't really know what's with the neon glow over there. I mean, showing it's a charge throw or something? Okay, so if he held on to it and then released it after building up some strength, it's not going to go fucking RGB computer day glow over there. So yeah, I'm still have some reservations about this game, but we'll see. So, I mean, we've got plenty of time to see more details on it, and hopefully they come a little off the rails. It's one of the things that I've heard. Another thing that I've heard is, like, you know, pressing the button does similar things to similar people when you're playing them. Well, to that I'm like, that's a stupid criticism, because if you played Ryu and Ken in Street Fighter, a light punch is a light punch, is a medium, is a medium, is a heavy, is a heavy, is a kit. I mean, how much different is it going to be? And, like, what Cyrax does compared to what Smoke does compared to what Scorpion does when you hit a button in Mortal Kombat, does it really change that much? I mean, a punch is a punch. It's whether or not the abilities, when you switch characters, have different impact and meaning, and whether or not Square gives you the real good power fantasy of playing those characters. And I think the yardstick is going to be the Spider-Man game. The most recent Spider-Man game on PlayStation, I think, is going to be the one that this game draws inevitable comparisons to, and people felt, okay, this is the Spider-Man fantasy. I dodged, I wall swung, I pinned somebody to the wall, I had a Peter tingle over there, so I got out of the way. It's, you know, can we get that out of this? Can we get a God of War feeling to it? And I will admit, it looked a little God of War-ish at certain points over there, which means combat could be satisfying, but they really need to stay away from quick time events and give you at least three-quarter control of your character through most sequences, and not have it just be on rail shooters and everything. So let me know what you guys think. I'm definitely interested in hearing. Have a good one, everybody.